What's up? Timby Terrell, American Dysfunction. What's going on? How are you? Y'all had to forgive me. I had to take a little time off to collect my thoughts. The American Dysfunction, when it came to me in my sleep, yeah, it came to me in my sleep, and I ran with it. Was primarily for me to reach out and let people know what's going on in my life and that I needed help because there are things in life that I want to pursue and I can't pursue them because I'm entrapped, by my surroundings. My even though my surroundings have improved, I still don't have my family with me, my children, here with me, which still hurts me because every day and every night I have to think about them. I have little girls that are growing up to be young women who do not have my guidance or my knowledge or my some of my instructions, to help them to mold and shape them. They don't have the direction that I want them to be in. They're somewhere where I feel as though they shouldn't be. So I'm speaking out to those. If you have children in the system, it's time for you to speak up and speak out and let it be known that you are pissed, you're upset, and you're not going to tolerate much of this. I don't care. I've sent emails to 3, 6, and 10 in Philadelphia, news media, even though I haven't heard back from them. But I keep pursuing and pushing it. I'm hoping and praying that I will trigger someone, to say, look, we gonna help her out, and get her where she needs to be because she's gonna drive somebody up the damn wall, because there's other people that I feel as though I need to come back and know and help redirect them and help put them on the right track. So I'm making this. I want this to be a very positive experience, and I want to push out the right thing. So I want to talk about things that I know that goes on in communities, beyond the deaths that people aren't aware of or people aren't talking about because they don't know how to talk about it or they don't want to talk about it. I don't mind doing a dirty job right now because it's important, because this is part of our economy, our growth. This is part of our success. This is what we need to do to help turn around and reevaluate some of the situations and some of the things that we have done. So it's important to me, so I just take heed to some of those things. And one of the things I would really want to bring to light is this is really to the young people, out there. Take your asses to school. Stop acting like, the world is at a loss. Go to school. I don't care how crowded the room is. Make your presence in that classroom be known. Learn how to read. You need to. Especially if saying y'all want to go sports and do all this lavish stuff. You got to read contracts. You got to learn how to negotiate. Everything around you is a classroom, and if the classroom is too crowded, you take your work and you take your behind to the library. The library is often crowded too, but you find a space in the library because you can go anywhere. Read. Read as many books as you can. Read up on stuff you don't even know about. I would spend 8, 9 hours in the library, okay? I wasn't young. I was working at the time, but I would hooky work. Yeah, I would hooky work. My job was laid back. It was really no stress. And I would go spend 8, 9 hours in the library just reading. And here it is. I'm reading Socrates. I'm reading Confucius. I'm reading Sigmund Freud. I'm reading those things that was giving me something to grasp onto to kind of push me further in my mind, because that's where my mind is at. I have kind of like a Forrest Gump, Bill Gates type of brain. I have to stay motivated. I have to stay active, because once I get bored and I begin to do what everybody else is doing, and that's not healthy for me. So you have to do what's healthy for you, and if you don't know, educate yourself. Go to school. Go to school. Be a voice and be in a classroom and go to school and listen and learn. Challenge the teacher. Your teachers don't know everything. They have to take a certain amount of training. Challenge the teachers. That's the best way. Challenge the principal. If you got to, make your voice be known. Start little groups. Not fighting groups, not chain gang groups, not groups that be self-destructive. educational groups, educational to say like, look, we are trying to get our education on. We come from some jacked up situations. We want to live better in life, and this is what we need to do to help ourselves. So start helping yourselves, and helping yourselves today will have you eating well tomorrow. Believe me when I tell you. So education, y'all, education, education. I cannot stress that enough for you to go and educate yourself. It is very important that you educate yourself. Do you know that every day when you walk out in the door and time you come back, you have been educated? You have been in socialization skills. You have been in psychology skills. You probably had some accounting while you out in the street. You probably had a little philosophy while you was out in the street. You probably indulged in some science while you were out in the street and don't even know it. So you have to open up your mind and think and apply yourself. And definitely you're getting sex education. I know some of y'all should be getting A's in that motherfucker, but open up your mind and get with the education, because it is important. I can't stress that enough. Okay, peace and blessings, and I shall return.